What if everything you were taught about love is the very thing holding you back? In this video, we explore 14 powerful Stoic lessons that challenge modern dating norms and reshape how you show up in relationships. This isn't about pickup lines or manipulation, it's about becoming grounded, emotionally free, and unshakably clear on who you are. From letting go of unhealthy attachments to embracing discipline and inner peace. These timeless principles from Stoic wisdom will help you build deeper, more balanced connections, without losing yourself in the process. Stay with us as we go beyond surface advice and dive into what truly sets apart a man who leads with integrity, purpose, and calm strength. Whether you're healing from heartbreak, searching for clarity, or simply becoming better, this is the shift you've been looking for. Don't try to become the savior of her life. Have you ever felt the urge to fix her problems? To step in, offer solutions, and be the one who makes everything better? Society has long taught men to measure their worth by how much they can provide and protect. But in today's world, that instinct, though noble, can become a hidden trap. When you try to rescue a woman from her own challenges, you may unknowingly strip her of agency and strength. You're sending a message, even if unintentionally, that she's not capable on her own. A woman working through stress or failure doesn't need a savior. She needs a man who trusts her ability to navigate storms and stand back when needed. Instead of jumping in to fix things, try this. Listen. Be present. And say something like, "I believe in you, you've handled worse before." That isn't passive, that's powerful. It shows respect. It offers emotional presence without control. A Stoic man knows the difference between support and interference. He understands that his urge to act may stem more from his discomfort than her actual need. Master yourself before you try to manage others. Not everything broken needs your fixing. Sometimes, love means letting go of control, and believing in someone else's path. Don't cling to her to the point it suffocates her. Have you ever felt that the more you tried, the more distant she became? That every text you sent, every plan you made, only seemed to push her further away. In a world where attention is currency, and people are constantly flooded with messages and notifications, desperation is easy to smell, and hard to ignore. When you over-pursue a woman, constantly reaching out, double texting, always initiating, you're not showing care. You're signaling neediness. You're showing that your emotional state depends on her attention, and that's not attractive. A man who cannot sit with uncertainty will chase validation to fill the void inside. But the Stoic approach is different. It tells you, hold your ground. Let silence be your teacher. Let delayed replies sharpen your independence. If she responds, good. If she doesn't, you remain grounded, focused on your goals, your process, your peace. The point isn't to play games or become cold. It's to remember that your self-worth isn't up for negotiation. That you are already whole. The right woman won't be impressed by how often you text, by how little you need to prove yourself. You can't control how or when someone will respond. What you can control is how deeply rooted you are in your own life. Learn to breathe in the waiting. Master your energy in the stillness. That's Hen attraction becomes effortless, because it's not coming from lack, but from overflow. Don't turn a blind eye to toxic warning signs. Attraction is powerful. It clouds judgment, dulls your instincts, and if you're not careful, it convinces you to ignore what you would normally never tolerate. Early on, it's easy to get swept up in chemistry. But character always reveals itself, if you're willing to look. Maybe she mocks others, disrespects boundaries, or creates drama over nothing. And yet, you find yourself excusing it all because you're drawn to her looks, her energy, her presence. But this is where discipline begins. A Stoic doesn't just react to beauty, he evaluates the person behind it. He watches how she treats the waiter when no one is watching. He notices how she handles disagreement. How she talks about people she doesn't need to impress. These details matter more than charm. Because beauty fades, but a toxic pattern grows. You must be honest with yourself. Are you staying because of who she truly is, or because you fear starting over? Are you hoping she'll change, even though her behavior tells you otherwise? A relationship based on fantasy is a contract with suffering. You cannot control her character. But you can control what you accept into your life. Walk away from what poisons your peace. No matter how alluring the package. It's not your job to save or fix someone who doesn't want to grow. Don't put her on a pedestal and lose yourself in the process. It starts subtly. You admire her. You like her. You want to impress her. So you agree when you disagree. You apologize when you've done nothing wrong. You hide your opinions, silence your needs, and shape yourself into who you think she wants. Before you realize it, you've placed her above you, and lowered yourself beneath her. That's not love. That's self-abandonment. When you idolize someone, you stop seeing them clearly. You don't notice their flaws. And you exaggerate their virtues. You treat them as if their happiness matters more than your own. This imbalance creates fear, fear of upsetting her, fear of losing her. Fear of not being enough. And fear is the enemy of connection. A Stoic man respects others, but never at the cost of his self-respect. He knows that true love doesn't require self-erasure. He speaks his truth calmly. He holds his ground with kindness. He sees his partner as an equal, not a goddess to worship. Because love that lasts is built between two whole people, not one who shrinks and another who dominates. Ask yourself, are you drawn to her? Or are you addicted to her validation? You don't have to make yourself small to make her feel big. She's human, just like you. She's allowed her flaws, just like you. See her clearly. Love her deeply. But never forget who you are in the process. Don't let social media destroy real connection. We live in a world where validation is measured in likes, comments, and story views. It's easy to fall into the trap of performing your relationship online, posting couple photos to prove happiness, watching who interacts with her, scrolling through her likes like a silent investigator. But here's the truth, the more you rely on digital approval, the less real your connection becomes. When you let social media dictate your emotions, you give your peace away to algorithms and strangers. One photo, one like, one message can hijack your mood. And slowly, without noticing, your relationship becomes a stage, not a sanctuary. A Stoic man does not build love on public display. He builds it in private moments, through presence, trust, and honest conversations. He doesn't need the world to see it to know it's real. If you find yourself obsessing over her online interactions, stop and ask, is this about her behavior? Or my own insecurity? Am I reacting to something real, or to a fear I've created? Set boundaries. Discuss what's comfortable for both of you. But above all, reclaim your focus. Your relationship lives in the real world, not in pixels, not in posts. Social media is a tool, not a truth. And it should never hold the power to define your worth or damage your bond. You can't control what others post or how they behave online. What you can control is your own clarity, maturity, and ability to stay grounded. Connection is not found in constant checking, it's found in presence, honesty, and self-respect. And that starts when you stop giving your power away to a screen. Don't see her success as a threat. A strong woman can be intimidating, but only to a man who doubts himself. When she wins, do you feel inspired? Or do you feel like you've lost something? That's the difference between confidence and insecurity. Many men silently compete with their partner, fearing they'll fall behind or become less needed. But love isn't a scoreboard. Her growth doesn't diminish yours. Her light doesn't dim yours, unless you let it. When you downplay her achievements or try to shift attention back to yourself, it's not strength, it's fear. And fear drives disconnection. A Stoic man knows that real confidence is rooted in self-mastery, not comparison. He celebrates his partner's progress because he's secure in his own journey. Her success is not a mirror showing your failure, it's a reflection of shared growth. If you choose to see it that way, instead of feeling threatened, be curious. Learn from her. Be proud of her. Let her strength sharpen yours. Say, "I'm proud of you. I admire your drive." That doesn't make you small, it makes you expansive. You can't control her ambition, her pace, or her path. What you can control is how you respond to it. Envy is weakness in disguise. Support is power. A relationship thrives when both people grow, not when one resents the other for rising. A powerful woman doesn't need a weaker man to feel balanced, she needs one strong enough to rise with her. Don't let predictability kill emotional excitement. Stability is good, but monotony is not. In the beginning, every message feels exciting, every plan feels fresh. But over time, many relationships fall into routines. Same greetings, same dates, same topics. And while consistency creates safety, too much predictability can smother the spark. Humans crave both certainty and surprise. When there's no mystery, there's no tension. And without tension, attraction fades. A Stoic doesn't chase novelty just to impress. He brings presence into the ordinary. He adds thoughtfulness into routine. Even a simple walk or dinner can feel new when done with awareness and intent. Tie-in. But he also understands the value of surprise, not manipulation, but spontaneity born from genuine interest. Try breaking the rhythm. Plan something unexpected. Invite her to a place she's never been. Ask a question you've never asked. Show her that growth doesn't mean losing excitement, it means evolving. You don't need to be chaotic. You need to stay awake. Attraction isn't built on doing more. It's built on doing the right things with heart. When you become too predictable, you become background noise. But when you bring presence and surprise into the relationship, you stay unforgettable, not because you're loud, but because you're alive. You can't control what excites her, but you can control the energy you bring into every moment. Make those moments matter. Not by being someone else, but by showing up more fully as yourself. Don't neglect taking care of your body and mind. Attraction isn't just about appearance, it's about energy. The way you move, speak, and carry yourself reflects how you treat yourself behind closed doors. If you stop caring for your body, your posture weakens, your presence fades. If you ignore your mental health, your emotions leak out as irritability, apathy, or silence. When you abandon yourself, others feel it, even if they can't explain why. A Stoic doesn't seek perfection, but he does seek mastery. He exercises not to impress, but to stay sharp. He eats well not for vanity, but for clarity. He reflects, writes, meditates, not to look spiritual, but to know himself. His discipline is not a show, it's a foundation. When you make your well-being a priority, you send a powerful message: I value this life, and I won't waste it. That kind of self-respect is magnetic. It sets a standard. It makes you someone others trust, because you clearly know how to care. You can't control how others see you, but you can control how you treat yourself every day. That includes rest. That includes boundaries. That includes facing what's hard instead of avoiding it. When your life is in chaos, love struggles to breathe. But when your mind and body are aligned, love has a place to land. So train your body. Strengthen your mind. Not for anyone else, but because you are the foundation of everything you build. Don't avoid doing the emotional work in the relationship. Many men grow up believing that emotions are a woman's domain, that she will handle the talking, the planning, the checking in, the resolving. But a healthy relationship isn't built on one person carrying the emotional weight for both. When you stay silent during conflict, avoid hard conversations, or expect her to always bring things up, you're not being strong, you're being absent. Emotional labor means remembering, noticing, showing up. It's texting first sometimes. It's planning something meaningful. It's asking how she feels, not just what she did today. It's leaning into discomfort instead of retreating from it. A Stoic man doesn't fear emotional responsibility. He embraces it with clarity. He knows that courage isn't loud, it's steady. That leadership in love isn't control, it's presence. He doesn't leave emotional effort to her alone because he knows partnership means balance, not delegation. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be intentional. Ask her how she's doing before she has to tell you. Initiate the hard talk before things boil over. Notice her mood before she hides it. Show her that she doesn't have to carry the emotional connection alone. You can't control how deeply someone loves you, but you can control how deeply you show up for the relationship. And showing up isn't just physical, it's emotional. The strongest men aren't the ones who avoid feelings, they're the ones who choose to face them with honesty and care. Don't let love blur your life purpose. Love can be powerful, but without direction, it becomes a distraction. Many men lose themselves in relationships. They stop chasing their goals. They trade ambition for comfort. They place her at the center of everything and slowly abandon the path they once valued. But love should expand your life, not consume it. It should energize your purpose, not erase it. A Stoic man does not sacrifice his mission for affection. He understands that a man without purpose is easily swayed by emotions, by approval, by fear of being alone. His sense of direction grounds him. His vision sharpens his identity. When you lose that vision, you start orbiting her world instead of building your own. Ask yourself, who am I outside of this relationship? What would I wake up for if she wasn't here? Your purpose must remain intact, no matter who walks into your life. Because without it, you risk becoming someone who needs love to feel alive, instead of someone who brings life into love. You can't control who stays or leaves, but you can control whether your path continues. Let your partner be a companion on the journey, not the entire journey itself. And if love ever asks you to abandon your highest values, it's not love, it's dependency wearing a mask. Purpose isn't about perfection. It's about progress. And the man who continues to walk his path, no matter who walks beside him, becomes a man who is truly free. Don't make her your entire world. It's easy to fall so deeply in love that you begin to revolve around her. You cancel plans. You drop hobbies. You drift from friends. Slowly, your life shrinks, and she becomes the center of it all. At first, it feels romantic. But over time, it becomes pressure. No one wants to be someone's entire source of meaning. It's not love, it's emotional dependency wrapped in affection. A Stoic man loves deeply, but never loses himself. He maintains his friendships, his passions, his time alone. Not as a way to create distance, but as a way to preserve identity. A healthy relationship is built on two full lives, not one life orbiting the other. Ask yourself honestly, if she left tomorrow, would you still recognize the man in the mirror? If the answer is no, you haven't been loving, you've been dissolving. When you abandon your individuality, you place the weight of your entire emotional life on her shoulders. That's not fair to her, and it's not sustainable for you. You can't control how long someone stays. But you can control the foundation you stand on. When love enhances your life, not replaces it, you remain grounded. And grounded love is the only kind that grows. She can be a meaningful part of your world, but she should never be all of it. Keep your purpose. Keep your path. Keep your identity. Because when you stay rooted in who you are, you offer her something far more powerful than dependency, you offer her truth. Master what you can control, let go of what you can't. Every relationship will test your patience, your expectations, and your sense of control. Maybe she doesn't text back fast enough. Maybe she changes, pulls away, or says something that triggers your insecurities. And your mind starts spinning. What did I do wrong? How can I fix this? How do I make her stay? But the truth is, many things in love are not yours to control, and the harder you try, the more you suffer. A Stoic man recognizes the boundary between effort and attachment. He gives his best, his honesty, presence, care, but he does not chase what's outside his power. He doesn't try to control her mood, her timing, her choices. Instead, he masters his own reactions. That's real strength, not controlling outcomes, but controlling yourself. When you stop trying to micromanage everything, you create space for peace. You learn to trust that whatever is meant for you won't need to be forced. You stop resisting life's flow and start moving with it. That's where emotional freedom begins. You can't control who she becomes. You can't control if she changes her mind. But you can control whether you stay true to your values. You can control how you show up, with clarity, with calm, with character. That's the kind of man who becomes unshakable, because his peace doesn't depend on anyone else. Let go. Not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. Give what's yours to give. Hold what's yours to hold. And release the rest. Discipline doesn't kill freedom, it creates it. Most people think discipline is restrictive, rigid, even suffocating. But the opposite is true. Discipline is what sets you free, from chaos, from distraction, from being ruled by emotion or impulse. A man without discipline wakes up each day reacting to life. A man with discipline wakes up and creates it. In relationships, this is crucial. It's easy to fall into comfort, to let your standards slide, to stop doing the small things that made you grounded and attractive in the first place. But love that lasts isn't built on emotion alone, it's built on habits, principles, and structure. Discipline is what keeps your life steady when feelings fluctuate. A Stoic man doesn't chase motivation, he builds routine. He trains even when he's tired. He chooses silence over reaction. He reads when others scroll, reflects when others escape. He lives with intention, not default. And that consistency creates a foundation no storm can shake. You don't need to be extreme. You need to be steady. When you hold yourself to a standard, not out of ego, but out of self-respect, you show the world, and your partner, that you are a man who can be trusted. Someone who follows through. Someone who doesn't collapse under pressure. You can't control what life throws at you, but you can control your preparation for it. Discipline isn't a prison, it's a pathway. It doesn't confine you, it clarifies you. The more you honor it, the freer you become. Everything will change, the strong know when to let go. Nothing in life stays the same, not people, not feelings, not circumstances. Yet most suffering comes from trying to hold on to what's already shifting. You might feel her pulling away. You might sense that something's changed. But instead of facing it, you grip tighter, hoping effort will fix what time has already transformed. That's not strength. That's fear pretending to be love. A Stoic man knows the nature of all things is impermanence. He doesn't cling to what's fading. He cherishes what he has, but he does not confuse presence with possession. When a relationship starts to unravel, he doesn't beg or chase. He listens. He reflects. And if necessary, he lets go, not because he doesn't care, but because he respects what was, and accepts what is. Letting go doesn't mean you failed. It means you were strong enough to release what no longer serves both of you. It means you understand that love must be free to be real, and sometimes freedom requires goodbye. You can't control who stays or when something ends. But you can control how gracefully you handle it. You can choose dignity over desperation, clarity over denial, peace over panic. True strength isn't found in holding on at all costs, it's found in knowing when to open your hand. Everything will change. That is certain. But if you can let go with an open heart, you won't lose yourself in the process. You'll walk forward, not empty, but full of truth. A man grounded in Stoic wisdom doesn't chase love, he attracts it through presence, clarity, and strength of character. These 14 principles aren't rules to impress anyone, they are foundations to build yourself upon. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be whole. And from that wholeness, love becomes something deeper, not a need, but a choice. The right woman doesn't complete you, she complements you. But only if you show up as someone already complete. Be the man who leads with stillness, who speaks with intention, who lives with discipline, and who loves without losing himself. That's not just how you win her heart, that's how you keep your soul.